Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Two dudes talking to you about it's going to be a fun topic. It's episode 49, guys. If you're new to the channel, go ahead, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you get notified anytime we pop out videos like this, which, by the way, Curry, is every freaking week because we are the C word. Not that one. Consistent. We are very consistent. And today's topic is funny. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I said, every week we get together before we actually press record and we talk about what we're going to talk about. And I brought up the topic, and Curry just goes, "Ha!" So it ought to be an interesting one. So we're talking about automation versus authenticity. Two questions: which is more important, and can you have both in your business? Curry, I'll let you take the first stab at
I
this.
don't I don't think you want to hear my opinion on this. I am
No, I really
be,
do, though.
being that I have built one of the no, I'm not even going to say one of. I have built the single largest automation content generating platform that has ever existed so far. Like I know things are coming. I know more and more things are going to be building but uh authenticity has no relevance in the noise. I don't believe that anybody cares that if you go to a bookstore and you buy a book by a published author, you see the name that this author has on it, but you don't know if they had a ghostwriter write that book. You don't know who wrote the content. And by the way, if the content is relevant, if the content provides value, if the content is worth something to you as a reader, who cares where it came from?
Hmm.
Honest, I can't, I don't understand the because I live in a world where over the last 11 years or more, um, we need more content created in the world for people to find us as relevant in our niche market. And if you're not creating enough content, you're buried by everyone who is.
Hmm.
And and so the uh the authenticity part is like I would much rather have more consistent content created, whether I go buy a service, whether I go hire Fiverr or go do something that somebody is just cranking out information for me at a cost versus giving up all of my time to write a 800 to 1500 word piece of material that gets buried, just buried and buried and buried, and then have some weird emotional attachment to it. Like, hey, look what I wrote. That's we'll start with that. We'll start with that. We'll dig in.
So I'll play devil's advocate now. So if you had something that was cranking out consistent content, and you were, popping it out there and you were being very consistent with that, and someone found your content, um, do you think authenticity plays a role where, because the reason why I ask this is like, especially in network marketing, people join people. They don't join AI. They don't join machines. They don't join, well, they can join systems with when they're chasing the dangling shiny object, but I think ultimately people join people. So I think there has to be an element of, you have to be, and I'm not saying you specifically, but like you guys watching, there has to be some credibility there. So when I think authenticity, I think credibility. And, if I'm searching for someone, if I'm a network marketer and I'm looking for a company and I'm looking for the right fit, the right team, the right person to join, there has to be an element of authenticity there where I can see, hey, this is a real person. I'm not just joining some automated machine. I'm actually joining a person that I can, figure out, is this the right guy, the right team, the right place that I need to be right now to figure this whole thing out and get my business going. I think there's got to be an element of authenticity there, weaved in there somewhere, between the content and the automations and the systems and everything. There's got to be a person that someone wants to join. That's it. That's all I got.
No, time out. I'm not laughing at you specifically, but the idea that we join people at this point in the game where you can just buy a something off a Facebook ad or an Instagram video or whatever. I, I I like, by the way, this is the best back and forth. This might be my favorite video of all time, the podcast of all time. This this goes back to way early in our podcasting, talking about know, like, and trust. And
Mm,
what I love about what you just said is a person who just found you has no clue if you're being authentic or not. They
hmm
have no clue that the content that was created, number one, wasn't by you, isn't in your voice, doesn't carry your tone. They don't know anything. So what I would recommend, and that's kind of what I actually built into my specific platform, is every single blog post or every single piece of content you generate, go make a video with that piece of content so people can see you talking about the topic of that piece of content. So in my daily task list for a person, it is here's your content. You already have your daily your produced content. Now go make a YouTube video so that your YouTube video is also searchable on social media on the globe, and it
hmm
internally links back to your content, and make that piece of content match every single day. And then they're seeing who you are.
hmm
So that there is, I get what people are wanting to protect, but your voice and your authenticity shouldn't come through text platforms. It should come through video platforms.
Yeah.
We, you and I are making this podcast. You and I have made endless Zooms and lives and videos on social media because a long time ago, you and I were taught that people buy from those they know, like, and trust.
hmm
And if they see your face and they hear your excitement and they feel your passion about the product, service, opportunity, it's so easy to help get a person to believe in you. It's
hmm
so easy.
Yeah.
But if you show up on a video, it's my one of my favorite videos me and my buddy Scott did a long time ago, was making fun of people who have no energy, like on a call. He's like, well, I joined this opportunity last week and it's
hmm
a really good time. And I think I want to make some money. I hope we're going to make some money. I'm not sure, but dude, there's people that make videos like that every single
I
day. And
I know.
it's my favorite. Like, who's joining you? Who is joining
You
you?
know what though? I give him credit for pressing record and uploading. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we all started bad. We all started
Yeah.
bad, but you, like, bring a fire, man. Like, light it up. Sorry, this is my most
Yeah.
hyped. This is my most hyped podcast yet. This is bad. This is awesome.
Yeah. It just that moment reminds me of 2016 when I made my first YouTube video. No joke. No joke. I had the selfie stick in hand. Back when, remember when selfie sticks were a thing? I had a
Yeah.
selfie stick in hand, and I also remember a skit of a guy walking around. I'm the train has left the track right now, but I don't even care. It made me think of selfie sticks, and there used to be a guy that would walk around downtown New York with basically a pair of bolt cutters, and anytime I'd see someone with a selfie stick and walk up and cut them while they
Oh
were
my
filming.
god, dude, I love those videos where the
Just
guy cuts people's headphones there when they were
uh,
wired, and he would just walk up and snip their. Dude, those have made me laugh so hard. So
anyway,
yeah,
so I literally I had a selfie stick, right, and I had my phone here, and I had a list of post-it notes all taped together, and it was like this multiple, probably like 4 or 5 post-it notes down below my phone, and I'm walking around my house recording my video, and you could see me looking at the camera, and I'm looking down at the notes, and I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking down at the notes. The video was horrible. I probably said about 57 times, but it's just yeah, it is what it is.
yeah,
Anyway,
mine, dude. I went back to my YouTube channel, which has got thousands of videos, and I went to the very bottom, and it's really funny how. every single video had like 7 views, like way back in the day. And it
Hmm.
was when I was obese and when I was not good at anything. And I look at back at that and I'm like, I have come a massive long way
Hmm.
from where we got started. And that's, what we're talking about consistency in this deliverables, whether you're using AI, whether you're using your own time, energy, and effort, I think what I would like to sell you, everybody listening, what I would like to sell you on is consistency means more. That's my opinion. All the other stuff, whether you pay Fiverr to have somebody build your content, whether you have, go ahead, I see your
I,
finger.
I just thought of a really interesting question, and this is we could get some really interesting answers. Do you think when we're talking about authenticity versus automation, keywords, content, people making videos, all that stuff, do you think there is a level or caliber of the type of person who's going to join, say, Joe Schmo looking for their first network marketing company? They're searching by keywords, they're looking for the right opportunity, maybe make money online, whatever it is. They can go find something they can plug in. They don't really care who created it versus a leader, someone with network marketing experience who might be looking more for that authenticity to say, I want to see a video of this person. I want to know the person that I'm joining. So do you think that based on experience, they might not care as much about one versus the other? Like someone with more experience might be like, I want to see who this person is. I want to see a video of this person. I want them to be authentic versus me just picking a random blog post, clicking a link and joining.
Of course. I have my biggest leaders of all time have come because they found me on YouTube. And by the way, they found me when I sucked at what I did. They found me
Yeah.
when I was really bad. I was in my second company, and one of the biggest names in network marketing called me on the phone because I'm very comfortable in the description of every piece of content I create. You will always find my phone number. You
Yep.
will always find my actual phone number
Yeah.
everywhere.
I normally
And
just put mine right at the top of my video.
right at the top, right,
It's right there.
literally at the top. I have more people that will call me on the phone. If they're leaders, they're calling you. They're
Yeah.
calling you on the phone, and they are going to have a conversation about your excitement about the product, service, if it's going to work in XY opportunity, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
And I think video has always been the bread and butter. I think the text content, whether it be social media posts, whether it be an image post, whether it be whatever, this is just filler. It's all filler. And it's meant to just have a platform of information out there available. So, like I said, if you're wanting to match up authenticity, you find your piece of content that was generated, then go make a live video or a video about the content, tag it all together, link it all together, and you've got both. You've got everything. They hear your voice, they hear
Hmm.
your explanation of what was typed. You don't got to read it word for word, but my gosh, pick out some key words and just talk.
Yeah.
Be authentic. Yeah,
So
I do.
is one for let's take a newbie. Is one more important than the other? Authenticity versus automation?
No, I don't think if you're a newbie, you don't have a voice yet. I think that if you're a newbie having content generated to create a footprint that's going to take a long period of time. By the way, I wish this is a great time to insert that SEO is a months to years project.
Yeah.
All
I think some
content
people
that
think
you are
it's overnight and it's
generating,
not.
yeah, anything you're generating content on a WordPress site, on a blog, on some other person's platform, it takes time for Google to suck in and crawl your entire pages daily because it's
Mhm.
constantly looking within 24 to 72 hours, it is looking for those site maps and the data and all the stuff. And I've gotten really, really good at this point, and it is still, it takes time. So I don't, a brand new person to anything should care more about consistent content delivery to the universe versus trying to have an authenticity about something they haven't even become really passionate about yet.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time. It takes time to develop your passion. It isn't overnight. Unless you came from a previous company and you're on your third company and you're on your fourth company and you know how to show that passion. If you're in your first company, you ain't going to have it for a while. And you better be okay. Just be okay with it. Take time.
Hmm.
Don't be in a hurry. Like I love the fat people statement of people who join weight loss companies and they don't have results within 90 days. And it's like, it took you 17 years to get that fat. Why do you think you're
Yeah.
going to lose it in 90 days? Like, why are you
Yeah.
so impatient with results from a product that isn't Twinkies and Ho-Hos? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That
th-
they don't think of it in reverse. They think of it in instant, like instant popcorn, instant oatmeal, instant, results. And
but
uh,
so having, being a brand new person in network marketing, um, if you have the opportunity in 2026 that has never, there's now things that exist that have never existed before in history.
mhm.
So this conversation is fun because until 2026, I've never heard of the automation.
Yeah.
I've never heard of platforms that would do things for you. And now, we, by the way, let's talk about this for fun, for real. There's always been tools that would create some content, or there's always been tools that would schedule content, but then you
Hmm.
had to go fill those schedules up with all the piecemealed content, was it Hootsuite or some other, there's all kinds of
Yeah. Hootsuite.
real,
Yep.
and you could just fill up. Okay, I want this to connect to my Facebook posts or my page, and I want this to post my Instagram, and I want this to automate. And so you would have to go in and load in all this stuff, which took all the exact amount of time it would have taken if you'd done it daily. Like the
Yeah.
exact amount of time, but you just feel like, well, I did it all on Monday, so it's all going to run for the rest of the week. You could have just taken 15 minutes a day and done that. But when you really want to put SEO into the world, there are rules for what Bing and Google crawl. And if you're not creating something that's robust enough, it will absolutely just be skipped.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, that was wasted effort.
Can you imagine if we, like 10 years ago, if we had the knowledge and tools that we have now, like where would be today?
Dude, I
It,
can't imagine where
it'd be
we're going to
crazy.
be in 5 years. In five, dude, listen, I'm not going to mention my products on on this podcast. We've agreed to do this a long time ago. So, but it's really fun to me that in 5 months, I've only been in my company's been running for 5 months, and it's generated over 15,000 SEO keyworded posts that are being crawled right now. And it's like, where? Like if you go to ChatGPT and ask it how much it would cost to have 15,000 blog posts generated that are between 800 and 1,500 words minimum, the math is outrageous.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but that's possible now. That's the funny. It's never been possible before.
No, no, not, I mean, you would literally be tied to, you know, a computer or a laptop 24/7, you know, it's just insane. And you would have no life and you would hate what you do.
And you have these leaders who, for years, Ray Higdon is the master proponent of creating a blog. I don't
Mhm.
know if I ever heard a network marketer talk about it until him, and he had tens of thousands of people finally go plug in to create content that sits there and works for them while they sleep.
Mhm.
And it took me a long time to figure it out. And when I did, dude, I couldn't keep up with the consistency of it.
Yeah.
I couldn't build a giant blog post every single day. And everything changed, man. This whole planet is moving into a either automate or die type of platform. Because if you're not doing consistent effort, somebody else is,
Yep.
and you're going to get buried.
I saw the first, well, I know it's been out there before, but like the first glimpse of AI, and again, train's going off the track here for a second, but just in talking about like how fast we're moving. Um, my wife and I were in Walmart the other day and we were checking out. And if you've ever done self checkout in a grocery store, and you eat vegetables or produce or whatever, one of the biggest pains in the butts is when you get to the produce part of scanning all your stuff. Like you scan a box of cereal, boop, it's easy. You know, a can, boop, no problem. It's got a barcode on it. You get to bananas, 4590, by the way, that's the PLU for that. If you get to bananas and it's like, then you have to go to look up, and then you know, it says A to C and you type A to C and then you search for the bananas, you hit the bananas, you put them on the scale. Now with AI, you literally take the thing, you put it on the scale, and the scanner recognizes what it is. And it's like,
These
is
are
this
bananas.
bananas? Boop. Yes, it is. And it's like, it's crazy because we were sitting there looking the item up, and one of the, you know, girls at the checkout, walking around with their little Walmart phones and everything, making sure you scanning all your items, whatever comes up behind us. She goes, you could just put it on the scale. It's like AI. And she specifically said, AI is going to recognize what it is. And we're like, that's
She,
so cool.
but here, my favorite part of what you're saying is she literally walked up and was like, "Listen, you all are holding up the line with your old
Yeah.
methodologies. What are you guys doing? Like, this
Yeah.
is slowing everything down. Just put it on there. Move faster."
Yep. But yeah, it's
Dude,
just,
this is the same argument, by the way, for people that I have almost on a daily basis with driverless vehicles.
yep.
It's the same conversation. I'm leaving to go to Dan's. We're going to have our podcast next week live, and my truck is going to drive me to Myrtle Beach. Now, other people would be like, well, I would never do that because I don't want to give up the control and I want to feel the driving and I want to be responsible and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
Like,
like, dude, we both get there. We both get there about the same time. And I'm going to be way more relaxed and happy and not stressed out about something happening. And the car's got more sensors than I can see. And it's going to be more safe and it stays between the lines better and it passes cars on its own and keeps up with traffic and slows down with traffic. Listen, am at a point right now where a week ago I had to take my truck to the shop and they broke my Super Cruise and I had to go almost a week with having to drive my own vehicle and I was furious. I was like, I don't even want this truck if I have to drive it. I told him, I was like, take it back. If you can't get this to work, I don't want this truck.
yep.
So I've fallen in love with leverage. It's leverage.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
I
So,
can feel my passion in this podcast. I feel it. Like I
oh,
feel,
yeah.
dude,
So
it's so good.
back to network marketing.
Just do it.
So my thought is like, if you're a newbie, right? Absolutely use automation, use AI, use every advantage you could get and keep applying, keep learning, stay consistent, all those things. If you want to ramp up your results. So, I mean, ultimately, what we're talking about here is automation versus authenticity. And can you have both? And you can absolutely have both. I think we've hopefully already answered that. But, you know, automation should be key for you right now, especially with AI and using tools and using softwares that you have at your disposal to help you get you need to get things moving when you first get going. And then I think you can, if you don't have a voice, you can start creating that voice and you can start creating that authenticity. So if you want to speed up the process, and we've talked about this on a bunch of other podcasts too, like one of the first things that you would do when you start a new opportunity, a new business, when you join a new company, is to go make videos about the company, the back office, the features of this or that, whatever, and start going through the back office and start creating content, putting yourself on camera, speaking, getting people to know you, and having that content point towards your authenticity and having your authenticity point towards the content. So if you want to speed up that process, like press record, man. Like go create some content where you're actually out there speaking and you're building that authenticity because, Curry and I can tell you, and we've been doing this for a decade now, is that when people are looking for the right person to join, they go to YouTube. Like YouTube is a search engine, even though it's like Google with videos. So people are going to go and they're going to seek out more information about whatever it is they're trying to learn. If it's the company, if it's the products, if it's service, if it's finding the right leader, sponsor shopping, whatever it is. And you just have to ask yourself a question is, do you want to be one of the people that they find? Or do you want to just rely on, because there's really two elements here, Curry. And I think there's automation, which is good. And then there's authenticity, which makes it even better. So it's like you're in a way, you're kind of doing the bare minimum when you could be doing more. Does that make sense?
It should be actually, it should make lots of sense. That should be, uh, uh, if you are opening, if you're a brand new network marketer and you treat your business like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. This is a known phrase for years and years and years. But if you treat it like you were an actual business owner and you had to make sure your doors were open every single day, you had to have your content stocked, you had to make sure that everything, that all the shoes were on the shelf and everything was polished and everything was presented right. I will say this: automation is not perfect, but neither is anything. That nothing is perfect. If you owned a shoe store, I promise you're going to receive inventory that may be damaged, maybe malproduced. It's going to be something's going to be not perfect some of the time. But I would much rather have inventory and be able to help people when they want help, because that's the key, is that you're not trying to help people when you want to help them. You're looking for people when they're looking. And that logic is amazing. Like if you understand that, the game changes. Like if you stop trying to force your product, service, opportunity down everybody's throat and treat it as, are you open to? Is this a bad time? Is this the time in your life that you need something? And you look for those people, dude. I haven't referenced a book in a while. Uh, Mark Yarnell is one of the biggest known network marketing leaders in history, and he actually created in Indiana, one of the universities, there was actually a network marketing college course, and he was the teacher author of that, and he wrote the book Your First Year in Network Marketing. And I challenge you to make it through the first 5 chapters and not have your hair on fire. Like it was recommended to me in the first meeting I ever went to. When I look back on my notes from 11 years ago, and I did not read this book until year 9. I'm 11 years in, and I did not read this book until I got to chapter 2 and lost my ever loving mind. Like, if I had known this when I first got started, do you know how ridiculous I would have been?
Mm-hmm.
I the second chapter talks about finding people when it's in their time, like literally in transition. And if
Yep.
you're if you're just talking to comfortable people all the time, they're always going to say no. You have to
Yeah.
find people in transition. And it took
Well,
me
that just
9 years.
goes back to a previous topic of ours is when we were talking about like when a company closes down, do you approach the people in that company?
Yeah.
Absolutely. People in
Uh,
transition.
yeah, dude, it's wild, man. It people every single day. My brain just Oracle laid off 30,000 people. 30,000 people who had full-time career level jobs. Like
Hmm.
all these people. And you mean to tell me you don't think that you don't think that those people needed job insurance? That's what a side hustle is. A
Yeah.
side hustle is job insurance. And if you should have a career or a job and a side hustle, just as you have vehicle insurance, phone insurance,
Hmm.
dental health, like you should absolutely have a side hustle in case anything happens.
Hmm. And I think with, speaking of side hustles, with today's topic of authenticity versus automation, it's never with automation, AI and tools and platforms and stuff like that. It's no more ever than it is right now in 2026 has it been easier to get started, to get you and your network marketing business up and off the ground. If you went back 15, 20 years ago, it's a completely different conversation. Whereas if you go to get started right now, you could be in probably what, Curry, your first hour, you could have a website, blog, authenticity, you could have all of it like done for you in minutes and be a credible person. You might not have all of the true authenticity of video marketing out there, but you can at least be up and off the ground and have something to show people that is credible, that brands you. And you could do this all in minutes, where if this was 10, 15 years ago, forget about it. It would take
So
you months.
let's also take a step backwards towards this authenticity thing and ask people to be honest. I really would like your honest when you get started, answer this. How much do you actually know? When you have tools that use AI, it knows way more than you and will know way more than you 5 years from now. If you're using those tools to generate content around your new business and your new passion and around you as a leader, an up and coming leader or a developing leader, it's going to answer questions for you that you couldn't have answered by yourself yet. And by the way, reading its content that it creates for you might actually help you develop into a better leader because it's generating good information. It's I've yet to find I was building an algorithm the other day, not an algorithm, a prompt, I guess, a prompt. And I was trying to have the content write uh my brain is failing, um, a myth, like a debunk myth. And I was trying to say, debunk the myth that blogs aren't needed. And it kept writing blogs that were like, so you think you need a blog, but you really don't. Like, let me tell you how, like, it just kept doing the complete opposite of what. So I was like, this ain't working, man. This is
Mhm.
not the right prompt. This is horrible. But I've never seen AI just blatantly create content for a person or their business that is degrading to the thing. Like it isn't meant to try to hurt things, it's try to provide information
Mhm.
and relevant information. So I love it. I love it so much.
One of my, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I don't care. Um, whenever I'm creating content for whatever it is, could be my business, could be whatever, and I'll have AI chat or Grok or whatever write me the content, and then I'll go make a video about the content that that I do. I love, love, love when people will show up on TikTok or Facebook or whatever, and they'd be like, what's your source of where's your source of information for this, or where did you get this? Or people have asked me on videos like, what are your credentials? I love it's like, what are your credentials? I was like, oh, I said I didn't realize I needed a degree to press record. You know, it's just it was a sarcastic wise ass in me comes out, but one person was like, oh, like, what's your source for this information? I specifically said ChatGPT. And they're like, oh, well, that's dumb because ChatGPT is a horrible source of information. So I
Right.
literally, and this was on TikTok, so I made a video where I said, and it was I don't even remember what her name was. We're just gonna say it's Jen. Um, but I literally made a reply video and I said, hey, this is to let everybody know that you no longer need to use Chat GBT for your source of information. You could just go to this person's profile because apparently they know more than AI. They know more than Chat GBT. So if you guys need a recipe or directions for whatever it is that you're doing in life, just go ahead and click on her profile and ask her because she knows more than AI. My wife was like, do not do that. And I was like, too late. But
It's
yeah,
wild,
it's
man. Where do these people go if they go out to a restaurant and they're sitting there at the table and the waitress comes up and they're like, I really like the idea of having this steak. Do you know where it's sourced? Like, do you know how they processed it? Do you happen to have a clue how they
yeah.
shipped it?
Where
Did they
was it
ship it in
harvested?
ethical? Like, what? Dude, I don't understand these people that have, even in network marketing, people who are like, well, where was it made at? Where, how to get shipped from? Who, da, 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 all these dumb questions. And it's like, do you want the thing or do you not want the thing?
Yeah.
Move on. Like, but I don't deal with any of this noise anymore. It's like, I struggle with people, man. I am getting to a point where I am just beat down. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
beat down. And it's like, God, what is wrong with y'all? Go do something. Take some action versus the action of asking me
But
questions.
what though? And I was just thinking, like, as you were saying that, I was thinking of, because again, with all of my authentic content, I have my phone number, like on almost all my YouTube videos, I have my phone number on the video or it's in the description down below, usually on the video. And I'll have people text me and they, well, can you tell me more about the compensation plan? My video literally explains the compensation, but can you tell me more about the compensation? But can you tell me more about, and it's people wasting time because they're not ready to make a decision. That's all it is. They're just trying to buy time. But I love, and I'm sure Curry, you can appreciate this too. I love being at a point in my network marketing life and career where I can just go delete. I literally just delete the conversation. Like I don't even entertain responding to questions that I can tell when someone's wasting time. I can tell when someone, they haven't made a decision yet. They're wasting my time, whatever it is. I literally just delete the conversation. I don't
Can we
know. That might
can
be
we
like,
pause
whoa,
for just can we pause and make this a quick little tidbit lesson that
little life lesson, little,
this what Dan just described is either you have two choices. A person is going to go find the information that they want and then they're going to join, or they're not going to join. And that's the only two options. There has
mhm.
never been a person in history who was like, I'm going to dig deeper and waste my time and then not join. That's never happened. It's always, if I waste my time, I'm going to go find the information and I'm going to join. The other people are just like, well, he didn't reply to me, so I ain't going to work with him. I don't want to work with you anyway. Thank you very much for helping me.
Mhm.
So I would love it. So for those of you, I had to have this conversation literally yesterday because this person was being an in between. Like somebody was asking them questions and then they were transmitting. I said, you have to stop this. I said, you have to stop this right now. You cannot be the question person. You have to be the go make money person. So If they have questions, let them put them in the group. Let them ask me directly. Let them come to me. But you go make money. Don't entertain these time vampires. So
Hmm.
yeah, I love what you said.
Yeah, it's good. And this is where people in the beginning, when they're new, you know, you're you're chipping and scraping for literally every sale you could get. It's all, that's where you feel when you're a newbie that you have to convince people, and you don't. But it's a hard lesson to get past. It's a hard realization for people to have, that they can get through that point where they're not convincing. They're simply just providing the information. The people that, like you said, the people that are going to join are going to join. The people that are going to waste time, they're not going to join. And it's to be able to decipher which person they are, and it feels great for me where I'll see a text come through and I was just like, delete. It's like, and every time I see a new text come through, it's like, you get excited. You're like, ooh, someone's reaching out to me, and either A, they joined, or maybe they're going to join, or they're not going to join. It's one of the three. But it's great to be able to identify that very quickly and not waste my time, not fall down the rabbit hole or feel like I have to convince someone, because you don't. And having that through, all the experience over the last 10 years, it's a beautiful thing. So, I hope you guys
I'm
get to
sitting
that
here,
point where you guys
I'm
can
sitting
identify
here
that.
dreaming that we had notifications that they received. Your message was deleted by the user.
Yeah.
Like read receipts. There should be a didn't read receipt. There should be your message was ignored. Like that is
Yeah.
totally no.
Yeah. I think, well, for sure, I don't know what they would get, like, if you block them. Cause I've certainly had to block my fair share of people because, like, they just ask the same questions over and over and over and over and over and over again. And even though I answered them, they just keep asking. And I'm just like, I'm just going to block you. So that way you don't pop up in my notifications. I don't know if they get any type of, like, text couldn't go through. Text was not delivered. Who
Well,
knows?
I do know that on social media, on Facebook in particular, if you block somebody, then they just can't find you.
For
Because
sure.
I block a lot of people.
Yeah.
I get just annoyed, and I just am like, I don't even need to hear your noise. Just
Yeah.
I don't know you. I don't care about you. I just like next, man, next.
Yep. Yeah. I saw
That's okay.
it was a meme or post or whatever it was yesterday. My wife and I were talking about it, and I just said, it's like, it said for every 60 seconds that you're angry is, 1 minute that you're not allowed to be happy. Choose wisely. And I was just like, oh man, it's just so simple, so accurate. Like, choose happiness, choose, results, choose the right thing, you know, choose the right path, my friend. Go do the thing. And, we're not here to convince. We're not here to, you know, beat people over the head or explain something 47 times. The people that want to join are going to join. The people that don't.
And exactly on that topic, the people who are going to use automation are going to use automation. The
Yeah.
people who are going to try to waste time being authentic at the beginning, they're going to be authentic and they're not going to make content the right way. They're just going to keep doing stuff and they're going to keep, and by the way, we all had to. There was
Yeah.
nothing available. We all had to power through the years. But if when 2026 showed up, leverage showed up in a way that has never been available before. There's so many um, AI video tools. There's so many AI text tools. There's so many AI automation tools that
Hmm.
has never existed to help you leverage all the time it would have taken to build all that content. And now you can just set things up and put them in place. And it's so much different.
Yeah. The tools that you have at your fingertips, guys, you could be so much further along, so much faster if you use what's out there. But at the same point, me personally, I feel that you have to build in some authenticity in there. And for me, I like being, that, I don't want to say credible source, but I like being someone who keeps it real, someone that if someone was to follow and be like, the reason I follow this person, the reason I watch their content is, it's like they help me figure stuff out. And can you do that with automation? Sure. But I think when you can tie that to automation and authenticity, when you can combo them, then you level up your game versus one versus the other, which was the initial question of today's video. You know,
I
can you have
wonder if
both?
that's
Which one's more
why
important?
I wonder if that's why I'm so comfortable with it, because if you Google either one of us, you're going to find endless pieces of content that we've both created over the years. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
we already have our authenticity footprint established. And now it's just like, okay, now we got to fill in all the available gaps of everything. It's like
Hmm.
I'm going to make as much content as I possibly can.
Yeah. I, one of the, and you could do this with authenticity and um, automation. What was put to me out and years ago by another content creator, and this made the most like visual amount of sense to me, is every piece of content that you create, and they were specifically more referring to video marketing, video content. Every video or piece of content that you put out is a brick. And, and you're just literally over the days, months, years, you're just laying bricks. And pretty soon those bricks turn into a foundation. Pretty soon that foundation turns into a house. Pretty soon that foundation and that house turns into a castle, and it just gets bigger and bigger and stronger, and you're just building these huge walls and of whatever. And it's like over time you've just built a fortress for yourself and it's a fortress of wealth and knowledge. And you've put out so much content over the years that you are a resource, you are a wealth of information, and that's obviously going to transform into dollars because you could be that go-to person in whatever business, whatever company that you're in, whatever it is, whatever niche it is that you're marketing. You've put out so much content that you're such a valuable resource. And for me, when they explained that, I was like, that just makes so much sense. Like I can visually see that. So with my specific opportunity at the time, I was like, let me go lay as many bricks as I possibly can. So when people want to learn more, it's like they're looking at my home, they're looking at my foundation for this business, and they can be like, that's the dude, that's the guy, that's the team I want to partner with because they are a wealth of information. So I thought it was a really cool visual, and it's just one of those things that over the years, like, whether it's Ray or Jim or, any of these people, it's like you hear something and it just kind of sticks with you.
And by the way, the more you do it, it develops what? Confidence.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah. The C
did you
word.
just fall on confidence? I can't believe it. So yeah,
I
uh,
thought for a second, I thought you were going with consistency, but yeah, the more you do it, obviously it builds. Yeah,
confidence, because
for sure.
you're going to start off sucking, and then it just gets better and better. That 1% improvement every day. Just make 1% improvement.
Make, make 0.5%. Do a percent every other day. I mean, you're, you're still improving. I mean, geez.
Right. It is just so funny. Dude, I think we killed it. This was one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Yeah, I knew going into it, it would be an interesting topic. By the way, if you made it to the end of this video here, are we ending? I feel like we're ending.
Yeah,
Um,
we're gonna end it.
yeah, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you haven't already. I mean, it'd be really cool if you did. It's right down there somewhere. Just do it. It's free. It's not going to cost you anything. And we really appreciate you guys watching these videos. And by the way, if you have any, if there's a topic, a theme, a niche, whatever, drop a comment down below and be like, hey, can you guys talk about this? And we'd be happy to. But the next time you see an episode, we're going to be on location. It just
It'll be
sounded cool.
wild. It's
We're
gonna
going to
be
be
weird.
on location together, side by side, sitting in the same space. We're going to have little lapel mics on. We're going to look like we're like real podcasters. Is this a is this an actual podcast or like a vlog or like what defines something as an actual podcast, Curry? Because I have no idea.
I do find it odd that we don't have an actual audio only stream of our podcast because I think podcasts are and early on was video or was audio only,
Yeah.
and then Joe made it ultra video focused. So I don't know. I think it's a vlog
Imagine
slash.
if Imagine if we could build an AI platform that could take YouTube content and then automatically transcribe it and upload it to Spotify.
Oh, we could do that already. We could do that in seconds.
Imagine
But
if
by
we
the way, we already have the Two Dudes Talking website that actually creates content based on every video. And I need to check on that. I haven't even checked on it in months, but it's got tons and tons of content related to our talks.
and that's a cool site, by the way, which we will put that link in the description down below and you guys can go check that out. Maybe bookmark it. So because it's automatically going to update anytime we put out a new piece of content, whether it's a short or it's a full length video. But maybe we could take something and extract it from there and automatically create a blog, podcast,
I will see what I can build, sir. That would
and
be
get it
fun to do.
and get it to Spotify. And maybe
Spotify,
we can be
Apple.
the number one network marketing podcast on Spotify. Maybe that's a goal for 2027.
That's a very interesting thing. I like it.
Yeah, because why not?
Why not? Why not? I love
Why
it. That's
not?
why not, man. What else we got to do?
I know.
By
Why
the
not?
way, if I die, somebody needs to tell the world he wants on his headstone. What else did he have to do? That's all I want on my headstone is just what else did he have to do? Like this is it. This is the next step. It's like
Yep.
what else is it?
All right, people. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week live from, well, maybe we'll go live. Who knows? We'll see you in Myrtle Beach. Catch you later.